Initial analysis of panchromatic photo confirms seismic disturbance. We'll request additional IR thermal radiation surveillance. Come on, come on. Request delayed until morning.
What, you want hazard pay?
Mona, if we go in there, we might be putting ourselves in a life-threatening situation.
VH, something is wrong, okay? Excuse us. Mr. Greenspan, Adderly and I were sort of going to go for a drink, and we wondered if you kind of would want to join us.
No? Okay, we understand.
Wait! You really mean it?
Yeah.
Well, that'd be nice.
That's just great. Okay, let's go.
Mona, Adderly,
Melville?
you know, I've been doing some thinking.
Well, it's the first time for everything, Melville.
And I'm beginning to think that miscellaneous affairs might not have any purpose. It really isn't an important department.
You've noticed.
But this is ISI. International Security and Intelligence. One of the best-known secret organizations in the world. You were once in the field, Adderly. You know what it's like to see action and excitement. The only thing that miscellaneous affairs gets to do is to walk dogs and look for lost passports. Stuck in these tiny basement offices like prisoners in a dungeon. I'm an unwanted cog in the bureaucratic wheel.
Relax, Melville. Don't take it so seriously. I mean, things could be worse. No, I guess they couldn't.
Hey, guys, wait for me.
Hey, why don't we go to the Hawaiian hideout?
Oh, Debbie and I go there all the time. They've got those great drinks with little umbrellas in them.
That sounds bohemian to me.
EH?
Hi, Lenny. How's it going in photo interpretation?
Oh, about as usual. We watch them, they watch us.
Do you want to join us for a drink?
Oh, I'd like to, but I can't. Doctor's orders.
Oh, when's the big day?
53 days. Then I'm off to the Bahamas and retirement.
Sounds pretty nice.
Yep. Lots of women down there. Keeps the blood flowing.
Doctor's orders, Lenny?
My heart. I'm so What's the trouble?
My heart, please. In breast pocket. Capsule, please. Yes. Break it. Yes. To nose. Yes. Oh.
Better now?
tell Melville that we'll... Mona, you've changed. Don't tell me. You got a haircut.
Major Clack would like to see you. He's in Mr. Greenspan's office.
I don't care. I want every room swept. We don't know the extent of the infiltration, so we must adopt a worst-case scenario. Keep me posted. Right.
I take it you're not the new head of miscellaneous affairs.
I found that in my office.
A bug? You know who put it there?
No. Nor do we know the extent of the infiltration. Until we find out, I'm forced to do business down here.
Why here?
Adderly, who in his right mind would want to bug miscellaneous affairs?
Good point.
Our operation's been thrown into chaos. Until we know what's been compromised, we must assume the worst.
Fine, Major, but if you're down here, where's miscellaneous affairs?
Will the cattle be sent to the river?
Only if the sheep stay dry.
Only if the lambs stay dry. Mr. Greenspan, I find this very confusing. I'm sorry. Do you want it with cream and sugar?
The usual. From now until Friday, I will cherish the llama.
I realize I'm late, Melville, but the llama swims without a snorkel.
Perhaps then he will sink.
Dead parrots rarely sing.
This conversation is ridiculous. Adderly?
Melville, I'm not speaking in codes. If people want to listen, they're more than welcome.
This is not a game.
Could have fooled me.
I want you to assist the electronic experts in locating the bugs. They'll be sweeping the whole building. Urgency is essential.
Right. The sooner we find those bugs, the sooner we can get back down to miscellaneous affairs.
Well, be thorough. No need to overextend yourself. That'll be all, Adderly.
Enjoy the high life, Melville, because as soon as this building is debugged, it's back down to being an unwanted cog. What's that? No, don't tell me. When they said this building was bugged, you thought... Melville.
Dismissed, Adderly.
Yes, sir.
Mona, don't you have anything better to do?
I gotta check everything. RF frequencies, microwaves.
Integrated circuits, demodulators, open windows,
They could be using subcarriers, spectrum hoppers,
microprocessors with quick burst transmissions,
Tin cup on a string.
or even non-conducting resonators, filters.
passive fluctuators.
Maybe even an old wine glass against the wall.
40 megahertz, dead ahead.
Yo.
That's it.
It's a wideband transmitter. Very popular these days. Simple but effective.
Unfortunately, at 40 megahertz, it's a very easy target for detection. It makes sense.
What's that?
It's a sloppy job, a very easily detectable bug. Almost as if they wanted us to find it. Thanks, gentlemen.
I didn't realize their satellites could photograph us in such detail.
Interesting.
The resolution is even better than we expected. Are there any other pictures?
Of course not. Didn't you hear the tape? It confirms it.
Good. Now all we have to do is sit back and watch ISI chase its own tail.
Fantastic, no? Comrade Chitov, about my impending retirement. You see, in view of the achievement that I have just done, I should like to request permission to remain in the field. You see, I feel that I'm hot. I'm on a roll, so to speak. The best work for my country is yet to come. I'm not ready to retire.
Unfortunately, you're not as fit as you once were.
Well, perhaps physically, no, but mentally? Look at what this over-the-hill illegal has just done.
Continue with your surveillance as scheduled. If your plan is successful, I'll see what I can do about extending your service.
As you can see, my plan is working perfectly. The ISI is in chaos. They don't have a clue at what's really supposed to happen.
So, Benko, it's crucial that for the next few days, we keep it that way.
Yes. Well, of course, even if they do become suspicious, it will be too late.
I hope so. For your sake.
Not exactly the top 40, is it? What's with the elevator music, Melville? Couldn't you get the Blue Jays game?
Baseball at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Maybe we could listen to the empty ballpark.
The music is designed to mask conversations. It'll drive any eavesdropper crazy. Not before it drives me crazy. What do you want?
I want you to speak up. I can't hear you.
What do you want?
I want to see Clack.
He's unavailable.
It's about the bugs.
He's in high-level meetings all day.
I certainly hope so, Melville. Because if you're preventing me from seeing him, the Major might get the idea you're delaying the resolution of the bugging problem.
Why would I do?
Because you're very comfortable where you are, Melville. Unfortunately, the Major isn't very comfortable where he is. Let me know if he has a free minute, will you?
Here you are, sir.
Smart thinking, Mona.
Yeah. That music, no kidding, it's gonna drive me crazy. It's like being in a dentist's office.
I'd much rather be in a dentist's office. Mona, I need a favor.
Yeah.
See if you can get a hold of the ISI report for the last few days, the internal report.
Adderly, I just called Major Clack. He has exactly 7 minutes and 42 seconds before his next appointment. I suggest you hurry.
Thanks, Melville. See ya.
VH, you have heard the news, haven't you?
What news?
Leonard Negley died last night. Heart attack.
53 days to retirement. Major, are we alone?
We're alone.
What is it, Adderly? Reminds me of one of those circus cars, you know, where all the clowns keep piling out. Only these clowns are wearing military uniforms.
Cut the pleasantries, Adderly. What do you want?
I just thought you'd be interested in knowing that whoever planted those bugs did a lousy job.
What?
If you were going to bug ISI, would you use easily detectable bugs and put them in a room that hardly ever has any high-level discussion?
What are you getting at, Adderly?
Whoever planted those bugs wanted us to find them.
You do realize what you're saying makes absolutely no sense.
Maybe that was their intention, to confuse us.
Why?
To prevent us from discovering something?
What?
That's what we gotta find out.
Adderly,
Major.
This isn't another one of your attempts to get back into the field, is it?
Of course not, Major.
And the next time you decide to interrupt me, please come equipped with more than just speculation.
Major.
I got something for you, VH. The internal report.
Ah, thank you.
It better work. I have to pick up Jenny Lou's mother-in-law at the airport Saturday night.
All in the line of duty, Mona.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not much has happened here in the last few days.
Oh, the bugging.
Yeah. Oh, Janet Voss in accounting had twins.
Yeah.
Ah. Melville Greenspan backed his car into the parking lot fence.
He has trouble with the automatic transmission.
And he can't drive a stick shift.
Right.
Oh, here's Negley's a bit. Body found in Kensington Park on the south side of Cherry Street. That's strange.
What?
Well, usually when you have a heart attack, you look for help. That's a secluded area. What was Negley doing there?
I don't know.
Only one way to find out.
Here he is. Looks like a heart attack. Been doing this for 20 years. They still give me the willies. We're talking total respiratory collapse. Dropped like a rock. Got a nasty bump on his head when he hit the ground.
Can I see the report on him?
Sure.
Slight irritation of the nose and throat.
Could have been caused by the medicine he was taking.
Subconjunctival hemorrhaging.
That happens sometimes in cardiac arrest victims.
Thanks, Doc. Thanks for seeing me again, Major.
What is it now, Adderly?
You know what that is?
Enamel nitrate ampule. A common form of recreation among the younger generation.
Have you heard about Leonard Negley?
I was informed.
Well, I found that where they discovered the body.
Are you suggesting that Negley sniffed amyl nitrite?
No.
Then what are you suggesting?
Prussic acid.
Prussic acid.
Gives the appearance of a heart attack.
You never cease to amaze me, Adderly.
He had irritation of the nose and the throat.
Well, maybe he had a cold or a cough.
He had bloodshot eyes.
A common problem with people who study photographs their whole lives.
So you don't think there's quite a coincidence that Negley died on the same night as the bugging occurred?
No.
Major?
For one thing, we don't know how long the bugs had been there. They could have been planted months ago.
Impossible. They're too easy to detect. Maybe Negley stumbled onto something and he was murdered. The bugs were planted to confuse us and distract us from whatever it was that Negley discovered.
Adderly, based on what you've told me, I'd say you were stretching Negley's death. I mean murder, to connect it with the bugging.
Major, I think that Negley's ID and his keys should be dusted for fingerprints, and I think the cloth on that ampule should be laser scanned for prints.
And if the prints match, then we'll know if the killer was the one who planted the bugs.
Exactly.
I'll think about it. That'll be all. Put me through to fingerprinting.
What exactly is prussic acid?
Hydrogen cyanide. It's nasty stuff. Fortunately, there's an antidote, amyl nitrate. You sniff some of that and you can spray anybody without it affecting you. KGB have made an art out of it.
How awful.
Yeah, especially if you're on the receiving end.
So is there anything else I can do?
Well, actually, I'm going up to the photo interpretation lab. I could use some company.
Why?
The new photo interpreter, Mickey, isn't he a friend of yours?
Mickey is not a friend of mine. Okay. No, I know. He asked me out a few times. I said no.
Heartbreaker.
Adderly, why do I have to go with you?
Well, to divert his attention. Makes it easier to look around.
Yeah, easier for you. Do you know what it was that Lenny was working on?
Yeah, hang on. I'll check. How you been?
Oh, just fine.
Well, you haven't called me.
I don't have your number.
Hey, I'm in the book.
Hey, I don't have a book.
Here it is. Let me see. He requested a 12:04 p.m. panchromatic photo of the southwest grid of the Ural Mountains. That's in the Soviet Union.
No, really?
Yeah, Lenny was working alone. The lab was...
Anything new?
Still nothing.
Good. Tomorrow there'll be no need for this. We can breathe easy.
We take periodic satellite photos of every inch of red territory, just to make sure there's no hanky-panky.
A lot of that going on. That's the photo?
Yeah.
Any other copies?
Well, he requested only one, and there's no negative. Comes through the computer.
What's that?
That's a refinery,
Adderly. He's no longer operative.
I thought you said no one suspected anything.
He won't find anything anyway.
We're connected to all the ground stations here. If there's any movement in the earth, they call us, we take a photo. Just to make sure that any volcanoes are not really nuclear tests. You know, the ISI picnic is coming up pretty soon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm entered in all the events.
So, Benko, your plan is failing miserably.
He won't find anything.
Get rid of him. Now.
I'll make it up to you, Mona. I'll take you to that little seafood restaurant you like so much.
Seafood is the least you can do. The guy drooled on my neck.
Watch out! You all right?
I'm okay. Look, Mr. Greenspan's car.
Wait here. What? Are you sure you want to go through with this? Be a good boy and go on home.
Huh? What?
Adderly, you let him get away.
No, I didn't. I bugged him.
Is the needle supposed to drop?
No.
Needle's dropping. What's that mean?
Means we must have taken a wrong turn somewhere. Got me better?
Yeah. It's getting stronger. Oh, we must be really close. This thing's going crazy.
The cast is growing.
What do we do now?
Come back later when nobody's home and take a look inside. See if we can find out what they're up to.
When am I getting that second phone line?
We have to call the telephone care office for that.
Well,
Yes.
God.
You don't need to looking for the vandal who attacked my car.
Well, just broke your window, Melville.
Well, you can't just barge down here unannounced.
All right, I'll announce myself. Let's have a big ISI welcome for VA.
Adderly!
Aren't you getting tired of looking at Melville's golf trophies?
Adderly, you can't just barge in here without an appointment.
That's what I told him, Major.
Yeah, I know that, Major, but I just remembered I forgot something down here.
Yes, I know, and you've forgotten what you remembered.
Yeah.
How do you people move in these cubicles?
In shifts.
Actually, we get along fine down here, Major. You know what I always say? Comfort is our enemy.
I can't stand not having any windows.
Join the club.
Actually, the lack of windows...
Melville.
Sir?
Shut up. What is it, Adderly?
Any news on the fingerprints?
As a matter of fact, yes. Negley's ID and keys were clean as a whistle. Please don't say, isn't that odd that a man's keys have no fingerprints on them?
Well, isn't it?
And the cloth on the ampule had Negley's fingerprints on it. Maybe he was sniffing the stuff.
Impossible. Negley wouldn't do drugs.
Adderly, I have dozens of men on this bugging investigation. Men who wouldn't dare approach me unless they had concrete evidence to support their suspicions. I should expect the same from you.
I can assure you, Major, that I have important work for Adderly to do in miscellaneous affairs.
If Negley was murdered because he stumbled onto something, I need
Proof, not speculation.
Good news, sir. We're getting the second phone line.
Excuse me, how did you manage that?
Guppies.
guppies.
Guppies. They belong to a woman in central switching, and I need time off in the morning to go and feed them for her.
The joys of working in miscellaneous affairs. Major?
Mona, got a great idea. Magnets.
Yes, sir.
If we get some huge magnets and put them on the roof of ISI, they'll throw off the signals from the bugs. I read about it in a magazine once.
Yes, sir.
Mona, take a memo. To Major Clark from M. Greenspan, 3 magnets.
Any luck on the beach house?
Oh, yeah. It's on my desk.
Wait a minute. I want to dictate a memo.
Well, don't let us stop you.
The house is being rented to Mr. Smith, age
Smith.
57.
That must be our friend with the crossbow.
Yeah, now, what I can't figure out is how did you know he was hiding behind that building?
Simple, Mona. He forgot what time of day it was.
Huh?
I saw his shadow on the sidewalk.
Oh, yeah, that's clever.
No, not really. It's just standard observation. Standard observation skills. Bingo.
What?
Let's go.
Where are you going?
See your friend Mickey again.
Oh, Adderly, he's not my friend.
You said this photo was taken at 12:04 p.m., right?
That's right.
Was that our time or Ural Mountain time?
The request for time is registered according to when the...
Our time or their time?
Their time.
Then this isn't the real photograph.
That's impossible.
The mountains in this photograph have shadows.
Shadows that wouldn't be there at noon, right?
I didn't bother going through official channels because I figured you'd want to take a look at it first.
How thoughtful of you.
Well?
Adderly, why would they go to all the trouble to switch photographs? After all, what's to prevent us from taking another one of the region?
Well, maybe they needed to buy themselves some time. Whatever it was that happened, it was something that could be cleaned up quickly, and it wouldn't matter if a few days later we took another photo, because everything would be back to normal.
And the bugs were planted to help keep us occupied for the duration.
Yeah, and they knew that Negley was in the lab at the time of the incident, so all they had to do was get rid of him, switch the photo, and plant the bugs.
And, what, according to your dangerously overactive imagination, could have happened to Pronto?
My guess is an explosion of some kind, something that could be cleaned up quickly. I think there's more to that refinery than meets the eye.
A missile sound?
Possibly. And if nuclear missiles are involved, that's in direct violation of treaty.
Thank you for enlightening me to that fact, Adderly. Good night.
Oh, Major Clark, I had a great idea.
I'm very happy for you, Melville.
What are you doing down here?
I ask myself that every day.
Moscow Center is not pleased with your performance.
I assure you, Adderly is only guessing.
Your plan was careless, and that carelessness reflects upon me.
It won't happen again.
I know it won't. I'm sending you home. Your retirement begins today.
You can't disregard my experience and loyalty.
I can do anything I want. Comrade.
I am totally loyal. I am totally loyal.
Well, it looks like nobody's home.
Wait here. Let me take a look inside.
Oh, no, oh, be careful. This could be dangerous.
Good.
This work is my life. Comrade Chitov, if you take me from the field, I have nothing. Won't you reconsider? I will make a public apology.
I'll see. First, I'll send you home for a short period. Call it a vacation. During which time I'll reevaluate your status as an active illegal. But understand me, Subenko. When I do a job, I don't make mistakes.
Where are you from, Subenko?
Vladivostok.
Perhaps you can take your vacation there. In the meantime, I'll take care of Mr. Adderly. Yes, I have a package to be picked up. Yes, the usual. Thank you.
Initial analysis of panchromatic photo confirms seismic disturbance.
A seismic disturbance doesn't necessarily mean an explosion. There could have been an earthquake.
True, but I doubt if the Russians would have killed him over an earthquake.
Why didn't you apprehend him?
Well, Major, are we interested in charging one spy with the murder of another? Or in exposing a nuclear explosion representing a clear violation of treaty?
We can't expose anything, not without proof.
Yeah. Well, let me test this guy's knowledge of satellite photography. They tricked us with the bugs, now it's our turn to trick them.
Adderly, I don't want this organization embarrassed.
Trust me. Did you get it?
Yes. Mr. Greenspan ever finds out I took that, he's going to throw a fit.
If he does, put a spoon between his teeth. Did you get our good friend Mr. Smith's number?
Oh. Sorry, I got it. Sorry.
Mona, the confusion caused by a few bugs is nothing compared to what would ever happen if you quit ISI.
Thanks.
Yes?
I won't bore you with the details and how I found out, but I know what happened at a so-called refinery in the Ural Mountains. And don't try and tell me it was an earthquake, because I have proof that it wasn't.
So why call me?
$50,000 and the proof is yours.
Why should I believe you?
Can you afford not to?
Where can we meet?
How about that cozy little beach house of yours? 2 hours.
Fine.
All set.
Cozy little beach house. Adderly, now, come on. Do you really think you should go back there?
Ah, no problem, Mona. Relax. He thinks he's gonna kill me. He won't care what he says. Piece of cake. Throw your gun in the water. There. Now we can talk.
It's a pleasure meeting you, Mr. Adderly.
You know who I am. I don't know you.
Oleg Chitov.
And the agent you murdered this morning? You know, the one that was trying to kill me?
Yuri Sobenko. He acted rather rashly with you. I had to put a stop to it.
Are you sending his body back to Vladivostok?
Unfortunately not. It's rather expensive. And I'm on a budget, you see.
Times are tough.
May I see that evidence you claim to possess?
Infrared thermal radiation photograph, taken moments after the panchromatic one.
But no request was ever made for IR surveillance.
No request is necessary. All panchromatic photographs are immediately backed up with IR surveillance. I guess your man didn't know that. There's your refinery, glowing red hot. My guess is it's a silo, am I right? There was an explosion, probably a nuclear missile on the pad, resulting from a malfunction or possibly human carelessness. But most of the damage was underground, so all you had to do was clean up the minor exterior damage before anyone found out. How many people died, comrade? 100? 200?
I really can't say. Is it important?
You care more about your image than your people.
What country doesn't?
I merely follow orders, Mr. Adderly, like you. Is this the last of the photographs?
You do realize the construction of a missile silo is in violation of the treaty?
Yes, yes. We're terribly sorry.
I believe our agreement was $50,000.
I'm sorry, Mr. Adderly. As I've said before, I'm on a budget. I'm afraid I won't be able to give you any money at all.
That's all right. Because this isn't a real satellite photo anyway. I've got all I need right here.
A taped confession? Adderly, you underestimate my intelligence.
And you underestimate mine. It's a refreshing smell, isn't it? Sort of like almonds. I'm surprised you fell for this so easily, comrade. Must be lack of experience. You wanted proof, Major. It isn't exactly a smoking gun, but will this do?
You get the confession?
Yeah. Thanks to a thermal photograph of Greenspan's scalp.
Greenspan's scalp?
Yeah. Standard procedure when a hair transplant doesn't take. Bears a striking resemblance to the Ural Mountains, don't you think?
Mona, can you believe this? Another treaty violation. Won't those people ever learn to play fair?
Well, that's dialectical materialism for you.
Melville, I have some tragic news.
What is it?
Melville,
Major Clack.
your lease is up.
When?
Now.
Yes, sir.
Home sweet home.
I'm worried about him again.
Mona, I am always worried about him.
VH, he has not said a word since we came down here.
Come on. We're here to cheer you up, Melville.
Yep.
Ah, it won't do any good. Who's kidding whom? This department serves no purpose. We'll still get stuck with the assignments that no one else wants. I'm a useless appendage.
I thought you were an unwanted cog.
Oh, no, you're...
Hey. What's that?
A bug?
Looks like it.
They bugged my office?
Looks like it.
Well, they wouldn't do that unless... Well, unless... they thought something important was going on here.
That's right. Excuse me.
Excuse me also. Hey. You, planted that bug, didn't you?
Well, I figured what the heck. If the poor guy's gonna think he's a cog, might as well let him think he's an important cog.